Hey, welcome back. I want to talk about letting your teenagers go. When my oldest, he was a junior in high school, and I remember crying that summer that he was turning to be a senior. Everything we attended, this is his last this is his last this is his last this is his last concert, this is his last, debate, this is his last DECA, this is his last uh, everything, band, this is the last everything. Nothing, he's not going to be here again. It's over. This is the end. And I was so upset, so upset. And it was really hard for me to say, well, his life's changing. I mean, he's going to go to college. Everything's going to change. He's not going to live here anymore. But then I felt that my life's changing. He's going to go to college. He's not going to live here anymore. And it really hit me hard because, they always say, oh, there's always people out there who have much worse lives than you do. And that's true. I'm not going to ever say that's not true. But there's also someone who says, but my life is happening to me. And so it seems a little bit harder. And that's what it felt like. When he was getting ready to leave that summer, I was just like, I can't let you go. It's going to be awful. I'm going to miss you so much. What are we going to do? It's going to be absolutely awful. You're going to be gone. You're such an important part of our family, and you're here all the time. And well, not all the time. He was pretty busy, but you're not going to be here anymore. And it's going to absolutely break my heart. And so we drove him out to college, all of us, and we took a lot of pictures, and I cried, and we dropped him off in his dorm, and then we went and had some lunch, and then we said goodbye. And he was pretty excited. He didn't seem to have a problem saying goodbye. I thought, I'm going to hang on to you forever because I don't want to say goodbye. He went to a college quite a ways west. And so we had to say goodbye until Christmas. And I was going to afford to fly him home before Christmas. And so it was very hard. We said goodbye and we got back in the car. We visited some friends. And then the next day we started to drive back home. We hit South Dakota and Waldrug. I don't know if anybody's been there. Waldrug is just kind of a silly little place. But we got out at Waldrug and we took a bunch of pictures because that's what you do. And got some water, got some fudge because that's what you do. And all of a sudden it hit me. It's okay. It's okay. We're okay. We've made it this far without him. Sure, we miss him, but it's going to be okay. And then when we got home, it hit me even harder. Oh my gosh, nothing comes in 5s and 10s. Everything comes in 6s and 12s and 7 4s. And now we have 6 of us instead of 7 of us. I was like, oh, it'll be okay. And life went on. Life went on. They all went back to school, went back to work, and life went on. And we talked to Gunnar all the time, and we enjoyed his, what he was telling us about school, and we enjoyed all the pictures he sent, but it was okay. And then when it was Cutter's turn to go, it was a bit easier, to be honest with you. It was just easier. He'd also spent 2 summers in Arizona working for my sister's husband, and so he'd been gone for a while already, for a few months at a time. And so when it got to be time to say goodbye to him, it was okay. And I wasn't as upset crying and crying for a whole year about all the last this, the last that, because I knew it wasn't the last. There were going to be so many other things for us to enjoy about Cutter and about Gunner. And then about Zeke when he left. And then Kennedy when she left. And then JT when he went off to the Navy in 2020. And then everybody else came home. So it's like empty nest, everybody home again. But that whole letting them go because you're not ready. I don't care how old they are. I don't know, maybe they're 30, but they've been living with you in your house for 18 years. You have been, you have loved them from the minute you found out you were going to have them. And the idea that they're going to leave you to go and have their own life without you is quite upsetting at first. I realized that to be a good parent, you actually want to work yourself out of your job. You want to do so well that you don't have a job any longer. And that's hard. I know when my last one went off to preschool, when JT went to preschool for 2 whole days a week, half a day, I thought I had lost all my identity. I had lost my identity. I was no longer a stay-home mom because I had nobody to stay home with for 2 days a week, half days. But it caused a little bit of not a midlife crisis, maybe a quarter life crisis. And I didn't know what to do with myself. And I did go to therapy. because to be honest with you, I needed to. I needed some perspective on the fact that he was just in preschool 2 days a week, half days. And I was still the person I was before he went to preschool. And I would continue to be the person I was. I was still his mom. It was different. It was strange. It was a transition. And Gunnar going to college, and Cutter going to college, and Zeke going to college, and Kenny going to college, and JT going to college. All were transitions. I know from working in special education, transitions are hard for some people, and some people don't mind them. For me, transitions have, depending on what they are, have been hard. And because any change in your life is difficult, whether you're going from a bad situation to a good situation or a good situation to a bad situation, any change is difficult because you have to step out of your comfort zone. And stepping out of our comfort zone is scary. And when my kids started to go to college and move away, I stepped out of my comfort zone, and it was scary. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to wonder what life's going to be like when something huge happens, like your kids go off to college. And even if they go just down the road and you see them all the time. You know, my sister's kids, they go 15 minutes down the road and they live in the dorms, but she sees them all the time. And it's a different experience, but it's still not terribly easy to have them no longer in your house, under not control, I don't want to say control, but under your ability to see them when you want to, more often, all the time. So that transition when your teenagers turn 18 and go to college, or they move away, or they go into the military like JT did in the Navy, it's scary. Your comfort zone is no longer there, and you have to find a new comfort zone. And I guess with that is finding your new comfort zone is possible. It happens. And you will find that new comfort zone, whatever that comfort zone is for you. I know that all of a sudden I was like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Life still goes on. I mean, we're working, we're going to school, we're busy. There wasn't a lot of time to mourn the loss of my having him live with me full time anymore. But it was okay. And I realized that when the last one left, it was going to be okay. I didn't have to be a stay-at-home mom or a working mom with kids at home. I can still be whatever I am, a mom, and not have to worry about necessarily having my kids at home because they're grown-ups. And what's really fun about when they grow up is to go visit them at their house and see how they're doing. And G took me out to lunch one day in December, when I went to see him. I was like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. It's just a different part of your life, a different time. It was fantastic when he was home full time. It was fantastic when he was little. It was fantastic when he was a teenager. All of them. It's just different. So I'd like to hear about how you did it. How did you deal with the transitions in your life and in your children's life? I mean, you got to think about all the transitions you have. You've got your kids, they're at home, they're born, they're babies, they're toddlers, they go to school. All of a sudden they grow up and they go farther and farther. What's that like? It was hard for me, but I got through it, and it's okay now on the other side. And transitions that you go through on your own, from being a stay-home mom to not having kids to stay home 2 days a week, half days, that freaked me out. But I was okay. I worked it out, and it's okay. I think whatever happens in your life, if you can come to terms with it and be like, you know what, Scott's good, Scott's bad, it's okay. It's just different. So I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for stopping by. Please subscribe and like this video, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.